What if I told you that the worst operator in Siege became the most dangerous character in the game?
Magnet now trying to refrag this or at least get the information. He's got the shotgun close. He doesn't realize how close he actually is. Warbark, unbelievable! See you later, Lusty.
Finka was once irrelevant, a weak, impactless operator that only existed to be memed on.
If I'm a player on a team and my teammate picks Finka, first of all, I'm like, wow, you're trolling.
But when Ubisoft decided to buff Finka, they didn't know when to stop, and now she can't be stopped.
Her util is stupid strong, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a little disgusting that the LMG meta's been around for so long and there, I don't know, just wasn't any action taken for it.
What is there to talk about, bro?
Alright, so before we start talking about Finka, I must ask that you please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. We are almost at 2 million subs, and with your help, we can get there. Okay, so when Finka was first introduced into Siege back in March of 2018, she was not great. Finka's rifle, for example, was such a pea shooter that the recoil modification was actually seen as sort of needless, since it messed with muscle memory while offering virtually nothing in terms of fragging power.
Finka is really knowing about your team. Her adrenal surge actually means that recoil is lessened, which can actually throw off your teammates sometimes. So be communicative. Make sure you tell them, hey, I'm going to be using my ability soon. Let's go.
The recoil with the Finka surge is ass. Like it's like good, but like it f***s you up.
It didn't help that the attacker released alongside Finka, Lion, instantly became the most game-destroying operator in Siege's history, stealing pretty much all of her limelight.
Threw a flash. Wow. Oh my god.
White stairs.
In bathroom. Oh my god, Bolo.
While Lion's wall-hacking rush strats were becoming the bane of Pro League, Finka was falling further and further behind more utility-heavy fraggers with better weapons, like Ashe, Zofia, and even Ying. The reason for Finka's failure was simple. She didn't do anything. At least, nothing tangible. Even if her recoil and the fact that Surge actually made you more susceptible to Smoke's toxic canisters didn't bother you, Siege's slow, utility-oriented gameplay and signature one-shot headshot mechanic meant that Finka didn't actually give you any advantages for picking her.
So you're gonna see Thatcher, he does his job. He does what he does as an operator. He takes care of the Bennett charges. Thermite goes up, opens the hole in the wall. That's him doing his part. Ashe runs in and kills things. That's what Ashe does. Capital uses his bolts to create smoke and then plant. I use my adrenaline surge whenever Ashe pushed in, but everybody else can look and see what they did to win that round. What did I do? Would Ashe have lost that gunfight if it wasn't for my adrenaline surge? I don't know. Did the fact that she ADS faster help her win that gunfight? Did the 20 health help her? Did the reduced recoil help her? I don't really know.
So when did you pick Finka? Well, mostly when you wanted to meme. For the better part of 3.5 years, Finka basically wasn't in Siege. Sure, you could play her, but her pick rate was non-existent in both casual and competitive environments. The common wisdom was don't pick Finka. What's crazy though is that when it came to her win rate, Finka was actually a great choice.
If you look there, Finka is literally off the charts as far as the win rate goes. Up there at the top, it's actually at 6.5%, drastically above every other operator in the game. So why is that? Why in a game as competitive and as sweaty as Rainbow Six Siege do we have an operator whose win percentage is off the charts, yet is played by so few people? It does not make sense.
It turned out that Finka's LMG was shockingly useful.
No way this guy's picking this, dude. No way.
Finka also developed a sort of cult following in APAC, who were known for playing super aggressively.
I always get excited when I hear Finka because I know something's about to happen. And there's Warlock pushing on down, finding Mentalist, and for nothing as well. Magnet now trying to refrag this, or at least get the information. He's got the shotgun close. He doesn't realize how close he actually is. Warbark, unbelievable! See you later, Lusty.
In fact, there were times when APAC teams pulled out Finka to turn heads on the game's biggest stages.
I called him one of the most pivotal people in this tournament. He gets a single kill. Pengu versus Lusty in a 1v1 with Diffuser down. You couldn't write this any better. Another 1v1 for both of these teams. Where's Lusty's position? Counter diffusing from Pengu. Up you go, Lusty. Up you go. But Pengu's there. Lusty gun out. Some damage done to the Goyo around the corner. Who's better? Lusty is, and Fnatic is the first team to take out G2 at the 6th Invitational ever.
Unfortunately, her kit still had too many kinks for the community to overlook.
The Australians might disagree with me, but I don't think Finka really gets you a whole lot. Kind of in the same realm as Knock. They just started giving these ops frag grenades because they're not very good.
You and I both agreed that there's nothing worse than a Finka boost when you're not ready for it.
Yeah.
That loses you more gunfights than it wins.
Yeah. I really wish there was an option to like deny the Finka boost, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like if your teammate Finkas, you can be like, no. Please.
Yeah, it should be. You should get a key to like approve it before it.
Yeah, exactly.
It happens.
Yeah.
Now, Ubisoft didn't have to touch Finka, but between the game's meta growing stale and the fact that they really wanted every operator to be viable, the devs started looking at ways to maybe boost Finka's pick rate. And about halfway through 2021, they figured out how to do it.
Did I mention that the Finka boost gives a permanent health boost, and it increases your ADS time and reload speeds? It's like a Reyna ult that you get to use 3 times.
She used to be really bad because before she didn't heal people, she would only give them armor. And then on top of that, she would make your recoil 0, which made it garbage. No one wanted to have 0 recoil because it was hard to get used to in the middle of a gunfight. So once they removed that and then gave her healing, it just made her a lot stronger.
Ubisoft massively buffed Finka's adrenal surge ability, turning the temporary health it used to give into permanent health. But Ubisoft didn't just buff Finka, they also nerfed her competition.
Alright, I'm gonna be shooting Zofia for the first time. Oh my god!
Yeah, dude, it's literally just
oh no.
Now, at first glance, these changes didn't seem all that meaningful.
So what they say, what's new about this approach, is that while the horizontal spread will be stronger than other guns, it will be more predictable and with much less randomness. So people are just gonna learn this new pattern, and then the nerf isn't really gonna apply to anyone except like casual players.
But as it turned out, the nerfs made a huge difference.
So no.
Ash basically got power crept out of the game, and Zofia's rifle was essentially unusable. So players had no choice but to start experimenting with other fragging operators. And it just so happened that one of the few ops with frags, a Gon 6, and manageable recoil was Finka. Now, at first, people weren't ready to believe that a bunch of tiny buffs to her healing could somehow make her viable.
What happened to Finka? They made it where she can self-revive, although I've not seen a single person actually pull it off.
Personally, I think it's kind of cool that Finka can now self-revive herself should she get down. Is this useful though? Probably not.
But then came the kicker. Since the recoil nerfs had already forced players to switch over to Zofia's LMG, they figured, why not try out Finka's as well? And that's when they realized that paired with her newly refined stim, Finka's LMG was freaking insane.
Balance gun!
So normally with ARs to LMGs, ARs are faster to reload and faster to aim down sight. But with LMGs, when they're supposed to be slower, with Finka's ability, she can speed up how fast you can aim down sight, how fast you can reload, which means that they're now on the same playing ground. And it's hard to compete versus a gun with 150 bullets when you have a gun with 30 bullets. Told you, Finka LMG busted.
With a global heal, tons of utility removal, and a literal Gatling gun at her disposal, Finka wasn't just the most overtuned operator on the board, she was the most oppressive. She'd start shooting and just ruin the rhythm of Rainbow Six.
Top red. Morning guard.
You have located
Can knock.
One op 4 remaining.
Oh, no.
You located a bomb.
Oh, no.
Remember, Siege's signature mechanic since day one was one-shot headshots with any weapon, meaning that Finka's LMG, while her stim was active, became a rapid-fire nightmare that popped heads before anyone could react.
Actually, if they leave Finka open in the league, it's actually over.
I'm gonna play it.
And sure, the community was getting fed up with the LMG meta as a whole, but Finka was by far the worst offender.
Finka's the real big culprit. Obviously, you know, Zoe has it and, you know, other people have it, but like, Finka's so strong, right? You know, you get the heal, you get the res, you have nades, you have a gun, and then you have an LMG. And it's like, you really do not need all of that.
By about midway through 2022, Finka's presence in ranked was off the charts, and she had a nearly 80% pick rate in the NAL. Finka had gone from a meme to the single most broken character in the game.
And they've got the first ban as well, no surprises here. Finka getting immediately removed from the pool as she's become more and more of a banned operator here in North America, as I think more and more teams are just getting tired of her.
Finka may have been an entry fragger's dream, but everybody agreed. Overall, she was a nightmare.
Yeah, LMG meta is whack. Not a fan. Even though I'm like the Finka, I hate it.
Well, everyone except for Ubisoft, who somehow just weren't nerfing her.
Ubisoft in general has been incredibly slow at every single thing that they do. My guess is that they are trying to figure out ways to bring people back, which is then taking away time from development when it shouldn't be.
While it is true that LMGs had existed in their current state for years and were all but ignored that entire time, paired with Finka's new and improved gadget, they became a serious, infuriating issue that has taken way too long to address.
I'll just say it. I'm surprised that they didn't address the LMG meta. I do think the LMGs need to be real, brought into reality.
The problem is with LMGs and Finka and like all the problems is like her util is stupid strong, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a little disgusting that the LMG meta's been around for so long and there just wasn't any action taken for it.
Ubisoft eventually cracked and nerfed Finka for the Year 7 Season 3 patch, pushing back against her literally off-the-charts power level by replacing her frag grenades with smokes. The devs are also reworking the recoil on all weapons, in an attempt to keep laser beams like Finka's from dominating Siege in the future. Finka might not be dead, but her days of terrorizing Siege are likely over. Still, you can't deny that Finka's rise has been impressive. Say what you will about how broken she is and how long it's taking Ubisoft to pair her back, the fact that the devs took a chance on destabilizing the meta and bringing operators like her back into the fold bodes well for the future of Siege. Ubisoft managed to turn arguably the most useless attacker in the game into what is possibly the most well-rounded operator Siege has ever seen, all without having to resort to any sort of major identity-altering rework. They turned a certifiable meme into a genuine menace. Love her or hate her, that is really impressive.
Actually, you find him instead. Gonna be a swing here from Iconic, and oh my god!
Should've kept the
vertical immediately decimated by the LMG.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring the notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit us up on our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.